Welcome to my channel. This is Alvida's Boutique, and I'm going to introduce you to my design studio. So I want to show you the outside first because, believe it or not, in here I have a crap ton of fabric. So this is my overflow, which is ridiculously full. Yes, there's even some at the bottom. I hate opening this because sometimes it doesn't always go back and close. So some really nice pinstripe in here. So I'm going to work on that one day. I said that before, but we're going to get there. I have mud cloth and I have some African cloth here and some other really nice design materials that I'm going to work with and do some projects. And I'm going to take you guys with me on my projects. So now let's go on in. I have to measure the room for you just in case you guys wonder how big is it, because I'm not really sure. I measured out once before. So here's my cutting table. I love this cutting table. I got four. Most of my equipment came from IKEA or a Container Store. And so this is from IKEA. I got the four Calyx unit, and I put them together. I built this myself. And I have my cone thread for my sergers. And yes, they are all full of thread. So as you see, I tried to line them up because I have, I started off with a 4-thread serger, went to a 5-thread, and then now I have a 6-thread cover stitch machine. It's in a Baby Lock Applaud. And I'm definitely going to show that one off to you guys and show you how to use it. And here I have my interfacing. And here I have my ironing tools and that. So you guys can see in there. I have my seamstress ham that you can hold. Sometimes you need to get in there so you can just kind of hold this like that and have the iron in there and run over this because it's kind of an awkward way to hold some things like a shirt and with the sleeve and the collar and the sleeve inset. So sometimes you might have to put your hands in there. So this will keep your hands from getting burned up. These are really nice. And then I have my seamstress ham, and that's also good for your shoulders and your rounded edges, your princess seams. I have one for, they call it the ham, and then this is the sausage. So this is good for your pants and your sleeves. So you just shove that right in there and it helps to open up those sleeves, and it's good to turn it inside out. Then you have your point turner. So I have this one, and your clapper. So you have your clapper, so when you iron it down, you just take it and you hold it down real firm while it's still hot. It gives you that nice crisp edges and corners on there. And then here you have your tips. So you'll wrap your collar when you're making your collar on this point here. Get a real nice point in there. You can hit it with the iron and go over it. And sometimes they sell padding with this, but I didn't get the padding on there. But it has all kinds of angles on it, so you can really use it all over. And then if you get this, you have to put it together. You might want to fill this because with the screws, it leaves either an indentation if they're sticking out, or it could leave like a circular mark if you iron it and you hold it down. So this one, sometimes I get those marks on it. I have another one I like to use that doesn't have that. It's nice and smooth. So I have this clapper, so it's nice and smooth on the bottom. So I might fill that in with some wood filler and a little putty to make it nice and smooth, because Lord knows I'm not taking it apart. So this one, some of my mostly fabrics, and I have some quilting material here. Yeah, this is mostly quilt material and backing for quilts. And yes, we'll be going over quilts. I'm not the greatest at quilts, but I've made some really cute ones, I think. Here we have my African material, my mud cloth. I love mud cloth. We have a festival each year downtown Detroit at the Hart Plaza, the Afro World Festival. They have many festivals all year round. Well, in the spring to fall, we have Detroit Jazz Fest this weekend. So I always go down and see what African material I can get. I always grab a few pieces. So here's some more fabric. Some are like larger remnants or like, a couple of extra yards. And then here, again, we have some more fabric. These are all mostly fabric bins. So I used to have my fabric in plastic totes and containers. So I'll go over my sewing room journeys. This is my third sewing room. And I've gotten better at organizing it since I've gone along. You know, sometimes you just have better options. Some options weren't available. So here's some linings, some materials like some silky remnants. I won't go through all of them, but the rest of those are fabrics, and I think one of them there is remnants. Now I made this table, and I liked it because I have rollers on the bottom. I'll have to do a show showing you how to put a table like this together. When there's many different options that you have, and it's fairly inexpensive depending on what you want to go with. So this one, I took the top from a fold down table that I had gotten from Joann's, Reston Fabric Joann's. And then I found this ironing topper that fit that fold down table. And I found this cutting mat that also fit that fold down table. They were designed to fit that table. And this is about a 34 by 50. I think it ends up being like 55 or something like that, or 60, something like that. But you can buy these online. So they do have them other places since Joann's is no longer with us. But I decided that if I put this on top and had my ironing board here, I have a nice large ironing board that always stays up. And then I don't use it that much, but when I need to use it, I can slide this off to the back and drop it down, and then I can iron what I need and then pull it back. But usually you cut it out first, then you take and start assembling the pieces, and then you'll need to iron later. So I also have my smaller ironing board here so that I can use that. I have another sleeve board here. So I have my sleeve board here, and then I have, you know, it's always good to have an extra ruler. I have my seamstress guides here with the curves in that. I have my rhinestone guide here. I'll show you my rhinestones later, and let me go over my board here. So let's go up top first. So here I have these are my sublimation or extra t-shirts and sweatshirts, and I've labeled those accordingly. And then up top, it's kind of like miscellaneous. This first one over here has my quilt pieces that I need to work on. Some tools to vacuum out like the machines and that. And I have some other sublimatable things in these, and some jewelry making finds and some other jewelry making finds here. Here's my favorite sleeve board. This is a must-have. If you guys can find this, get it. It is like worth its weight in gold. It's good for your narrow sleeves and spaces, and then also for your pant legs and the openings on those. Very good to have. So I have had this one for years, and I haven't had any problems with it. I haven't seen one as well built as that one. So now we'll go to the my boards here. So, and I had this room built. So I'm blessed to have a house that had an unfinished basement, and similar with my last house. Then I had an apartment that had a basement, and I was able to start my sewing area in that apartment, which was 30 years ago, long time ago. So now this room, I'll have to measure it and get the measurements for you guys. I'll put the link of everything that I can in the description and the bio. But you can go also on IKEA.com and look up all of these. So we have our board, and I love this pegboard. It's interchangeable. They have 3 different sizes. I always link them up so they look nice and solid. So I have my weights. This is for my rhinestone making class, and class and at home use. I have my chalk markers. So you see my chalk markers here. This is a really good one. Oops, sorry, you can't see that. So this one is really good because it has at the bottom these grooves. You can hear them. if I can get it to work, but you can hear them move. So when I'm doing my, there we go. So this is good for like, especially heavier fabrics. You don't want to use that on your more delicate fabrics. So I recommend these for the more delicate ones. I also have my writer here, and I have different colors that I can switch them out with. This is an excellent find as well. And it comes with the extra colors here. So you get the colors, you get the pen. So I got my weights again, sharpener. Here is a magnifying light for when I don't want to wear my glasses. This is a really good find as well, especially when I'm trying to thread my multi-needle machine. And I have some glues and some other, here's some powder refills, and that goes in there. So I have different colors because this top part right here comes out so that you can put your powder in there. So you can kind of see some, let me get that closer up. There's a little bit of powder in there. There we go. So yeah, you can kind of see the powder. So you just fill that up with that. I have clips. I started doing clips more because I don't like the pen, so I do clips more. I have a grommet maker. I have my tape measures, some blades. I just got a bunch of new blades here. If I can get it there. I ordered these off Amazon. So I have the variegated. So just like your pinking shears, I have different blades that will slide right onto one of my rotary cutters, and then I can have a pinking shear effect when I'm trying to, there we go, when I'm trying to do a pinking edge on fraying material. So here we have my rotary cutters and my holders for patterns that I'm working on or will work on soon. And then I put a light under here so I can have extra light. So I have, these are my workable, I call them workable scissors, this pair anyway. The rest of these are my pinking shears, and then I have, these are some really good scissors. But this is the one for cutting paper only. And I have a magnet here. It's a wand for picking up the pens. And then here's also fabric shears. Most of these are fabric shears. This one I'm turning into probably some junk scissors so I can cut paper. And then I have, I forget the size. I'll get the size for you of this rotary cutter. And then this was a dual size. So I do like the size of this one that they have too. So I can flip from one to the other. And so I have a few of these. This room also is used by my daughter as well as myself. And then here is the pinking. So I can switch out that blade for those other multi-cutter blades. And then here, this one, if you can find it, I've been looking and I haven't found this one since I bought it from Joann's, Rest in Fabric. So this one, you loosen the screw and you just push that up, and this nice sharp blade, and it is very sharp. It comes out, and I have to actually find some blades for it. And I use it sparingly, but when you need to get into a nice crisp corner, you know, you really want to get into that corner. It's just very precise. It gets right in there. So I'm going to leave these here, and I'm going to introduce you to this, and we'll talk more on it. But this is for my embroidery machine. So I made these labels, and I'm going to put them on the machine, but I'll give you more information as we visit that. So this is the 8-in-1 hoop from Maggie Frames. So you have Mighty Hoops and Maggie Frames, and Maggie Frames had a better deal, and they're a little bit more sturdier. Still a good product, but I'm team Maggie Frame. So we'll be doing some videos on how to use the frame, how to use the hooping station, and all that. So that's what you see sitting here on the table, because as soon as we're done, I'm going to go ahead and stick those labels onto those frames, the hooping frames. So moving along, I have just extra storage here with the shelves. And here's some shelves, and I always leave myself a little extra for anything that I might need later. So like with these here, I have extra. I'll probably stick those in one of these jars for safekeeping. I have my scrap bin here, and this has felt in it. So sometimes if it's a little too large to throw away, I'll just kind of hang on to it and see what I can do with it and throw some scraps there. I again have my other measuring tool. This is for a hem. So you have like a rounded hem if you need it, a more square hem, and it's got the levels on there to make sure your hem is always going to be uniform. I have my sticky lint rollers, and this can be used on many different things to catch lint and anything after when you get done designing or before, because you just pick up different pieces of uh, lint and threads and all kind of whatnots. You know, other fabric, it just drives you crazy. So I have a whole drawer of these actually. So I found these bags here, and this is one bag that the one bag that I've done. So this bag is from IKEA, and it was $3. And I just threw a design on there because I wanted to use the biggest frame that came with my multi-needle machine. Yes, I'll be explaining that and how it works. But it's a nice plain linen bag, and this is just one of my practice bags. But I thought it was really cute, so I'm going to put something else on the back side. We'll make a tutorial out of that for you guys. So I have like 3 more of those there, and then another bag that I can also practice on. So they're also good for when I go fabric shopping. I need to stay out of the fabric store. Wait till you see how much more fabric I have. That was just the tip of the iceberg. So here we have our butcher paper, and I ordered that off of Amazon. This is our transfer paper or carrier sheets for doing the rhinestones. So I'll show you how to do rhinestone templates. I have some projects that I've already worked on and finished. This is also for your infusible ink, so it doesn't get onto anything else. This is a good barrier to have. It's cheap. You can reuse it a few times, but it'll suck up the fumes from the ink when it releases, and then instead of it going into the actual heat press and then transferring to another garment, it'll be caught on to your paper. Now here's my Epson printer, my 2720. It's not currently plugged in right now, but I have converted this to an infusible ink printer. And then here is my Alex drawers, and I got from IKEA. And this first drawer has all of the infusible inks and some material. Here is my rhinestone template drawer. So I have to find a better place to store it. Here's some hats and stuff here. Like I said, I had a drawer full, and also my pillows and that for when you don't want your outfits to be totally flat when you do a infusible ink or heat transfer. They have a pillowed version of it. So I'll just set this up here. So yes, I have that. I have some more. This is infusible sticker paper. I want to try that. The cups with the mouth on the bottom. So I got enough for that. 2 different kinds, clear and white. Those just came in yesterday. This one, here's my infusible heat tape, my heat transfer tape. And then here is my flock that you cut out your different designs on for the rhinestone templates. And I got this again also from Amazon. And then they have the Rhinestone Warehouse. They have a really good product. When their heat transfer, the carrier sheets, theirs are really good. So that's very close enough, and it might be from them. So I think the lighter roll was from them. So here are all of my embroidery threads, and this is for, I have 2 1 needle machines, and I have a 12 needle machine. So I just got in, and we'll do an unboxing of rainbow, variegated, glow in the dark, metallic, and UV activated. So that's what we're going to work on. Now I'm going to pull this out in a minute, but I just want to kind of give you a look here. Yes, I do love IKEA and their pegboards. So I have my magnetic larger frames and part of hooping station pieces here. On this wall, I have, these are, I think these are 3,000 millimeters or 3,000 meter uh, embroidery threads. And then these bigger ones are 4,000 meters. Yes, 4,000 meter embroidery threads. And then it came with the 5,000 meter. So I'll give you kind of an idea. Actually, you can see it right here. This came with the machine. It came with like 12. And then here is the 4,000. So this one's a little bit taller and a little bit thicker than the 4,000 one. So that's a lot. It'll take you a long ways. Here's my 12 needle. It's a Revlon, and I got this direct from the seller in China, and it cost me $3,200. So that's with shipping. They'll ship it to your house and put you on a schedule, and you'll be good to go. This is the, let's say, Avaya cabinet, embroidery cabinet for anything other than Genome. Genome has a smaller base, so this part here is much narrower. So because the feet are closer together. So any other machine is going to have a wider base, more like this. Your standard machines will have at least I think this is 14 inches across if I'm not mistaken. And that's what you will want. It will be the A version. They have A and J or something like that. But I'll put the link in that. I got it from this cabinet came from Amazon. It was $1,500. I'll put the link in the description. I have my 2 hat hoops, and there's a stand to get it ready, and there's one that's preloaded. And here we have the smaller cones of thread, but I wanted to put like this flesh tone colors here, so they're right here where I need them. And then most commonly used, which is your white and your black, so I have those towards the back. And I'll pull it out so you can see the surprise on the side. Now, I had to put this together, and I'm telling you, I can put anything together, but this right here drove me batty. I had a friend come over and I fussed so. She said, I'm on my way. As soon as she rounded the corner, this one part just fell into place. Once I locked it down, we could move it downstairs. So I love it. On the one hand, it has tons of storage. I'm glad I spent the money. On the other hand, to put it together was just a pain. So if anyone who's not technically inclined to put things together, please call someone and have them put it together for you. Or because the directions are terrible, but we'll review that. But I love the product. Once you get it together, it's a very solid product. It's very well made. It is not going to shake or anything. I'm very impressed. So the machine came with 2 sets of hoops, and these here are for the larger frame. So I'll show you the larger frame in the other drawer. This is industry standard now, where you have the larger frame and you snap them down to hold the material in place. And yes, I'll do a tutorial on that. And here are some of the samples that I've done and worked on, and some of my menus. So I found this picture of Nino Brown and turned it into an embroidery and an applique. So we'll do a tutorial on that. So that's the top drawer. And then here is the bigger frame. My machine does like a 9.5 by 14, which is a pretty decent size. So those pieces will snap here. And then these go to my other machines, my 2 other machines. So I have a Brother, a PE, personal embroidery. It's the PE 800. And I have a Singer, and I don't know, I can't remember the model on that one. But the Singer was on sale, and it had a nice sewing area, so I bought it before. That was before this thing here. So here's my menu of the smaller threads that I have, and no, this is the larger threads. This is the menu of the smaller threads. So I have those available. So if I ever need to match up a color, I can that is listed on my menu of colors. I can look here to find the best one. Here are my stabilizers and my bobbins. So I have all kind of stabilizers that I like to use, but my favorite is the sticky stabilizer. Now this one has black and white pre-wound bobbins. These are a godsend. And if you can, I have other bobbins that came with it. Some were pre-wound without the top and bottom. So as you go through, or paper bobbins, either one, they work well. The paper bobbins and more solid bobbins, I think, work the best. The ones that are wound up with no bobbin in it can be a problem for your machine. Your machine might not be able to handle it. So I think I'm going to put a handle on this one, but I'm going to pull this out so I can show you. So I'm going to, hold on, stand by. On second thought, I'm going to show you this at the end. I have to pull everything out of the way to get this out. But this is what we're going to do. I'm going to open these up so we can see them. I'll show you how the color change works with a UV light. So that's going to be, oh, and let me show you too. I have all these lovely size 16 rhinestones. So you have different sizes. 10s are the average ones that they use, and 16s are a little bit larger, but they give beautiful results. Here is my rhinestone wall. So I bought them from a wholesaler. I can put the link in the description. And I tried to get every color they had. I missed a few, but I don't think I care. So, but as you see, it looks like I have two of the same. But if you look real close, it is a size, let me see if I can get it. Let's do this one. I have a size 10 Rose Symphony and a size 16 Rose Symphony. So the bigger ones are in the back. The smaller ones, they don't look like a lot. I think I got 14,000 of them. So it comes, 144 is a gross. So I got like 10 gross. So it's like, like 14,000. So those are, with the heat transfer with the backs, the glue on the back. So when you hit it with the heat, they glue down. So when you do order, you have to tell them, this is for, heat transfer, so they'll know to put the sticky stuff on the back. Here is my lovely heat press. So let me introduce you to this is myself. This is me. The fuller figured me. The other one, this skinny one over here used to be me, but that's not me anymore. This thicker one here is me. So we'll call her Ethel. So this is Ethel. And I'll show you guys how to measure yourselves and fix Ethel to your standards. So Ethel will be useful for you, but right now she's just chilling. So now let's go back to my heat press. I like this heat press. I want another one, more clamshell. This one is more up and down, okay? So that's okay, but the problem is, found out after several tries that it slides out. So this is a help that it slides out. If you can get the clamshell and it slides out, that's what you want. And there's a trick to this one. But this one came with lots of parts, and I'll show those to you in just a second. It was like 8 pieces. So it was about 200 and some change for it. I believe it's like a 18 by 18. So it's pretty decent size area to do your heat press on. But yeah, it comes with, I'll show you here. It has 2 cups, 2 different size cups. You have your coffee cup, and then you have your taller tumbler. So you can do heat press on those. And then it has like the conal shape here. And if you look here, it's kind of like straight. So it's the straight size, and then the where it goes narrow to wide on the other ones for coffee cups and that. And then I have the heat press for the smaller plate, like the inside of a saucer or the bigger inside of a plate. If you were going to put like a commemorative plate together, there you can't really see it. Let me see if I can get it. You have your hat press. So you can use the hat press. So that is another option. And here are two other sizes. So I have two sizes for your tumblers. So two sizes for the tumblers. And then I have the two sizes for coffee cups. And they go the narrow again to the tall. So I have here is a sewing machine, and it's an old Singer from 1952. Belonged to my Auntie Bessie, and she used it maybe 3 times. It looks like the day she bought it. So little scuff, just little scuff from being moved, but it's like the day she bought it. So I will introduce you to Auntie Bessie's machine as we go along. See if I can get this top off. Here we go. So it has storage in here. It has all the original stuff in here. I will probably never use the thread, but I just think it's so cool that she kept it so well preserved. I recently got this online. This is a buttonholer, and then they have one that does different zigzag stitches, because this only does a straight stitch. So this was just before zigzag stitches came out. So they have these, I just found out about them. I don't know what I was thinking, but I just found out they had these tools that you put the attachment on the machine, and instead of the machine doing the needle doing this, the mechanism moved. So we'll be looking into that. So some of these old machines you can give new life to. So you can also, I ordered the one for the buttonholer off of eBay. So this is another Calyx unit. It's 4 tall, and they have them 2, 4, 6, 8, and I think 12. They might have 10, but they have 12. For me, like for this one, I could have done 8 and then 8 and then sat them back to back, which a lot of people do. But I needed something on every side. So, my ironing tools, my interfacing there, the fabric I'm really not using on the other side, my combs on the front here. So that works out best for me. And then I cleaned up my room a little bit there, so I was able to put more storage for fabrics on the other side. So that works out for me. So this one, I needed more because we went to Chicago for Frocktails. It was everything. So for Frocktails, they took us to 3 different stores, fabrics, actually 4. And you got a discount going with the Frocktails. I'll provide more information about that later. We had a blast. So I was able to get some really nice material from there. And it's exclusive, to Chicago. And I can say that I went there. And now we know that we have some other place that we can go. That's not, Chicago for me is like 4 hours away. So that will serve me okay to get away from it all for a minute or two. Look at that beautiful fabric right there. Look at that. So, and I buy for me and my daughter. So, because she has her spot, I'll show you her spot. But yeah, it's a nice alternative and not too much of too far of a getaway to go and, buy some fabric. And their fabric pricing is really good. For where we are, we're just a fabric desert. Since Joanne is gone, we have other places that we have to find a shop from that have to be more reasonable. So I have a few. So I'm gonna also introduce you to some of those places. So here is my hooping station. So we'll talk more about that as we go along. And then this machine is one of 15. So stop judging me. I have 15. I gave 2 away. I'm gonna give 1 more away. But yeah, I had 17 on 15. So Auntie Bessie's straight stitch. I have 1/5 thread. This stand in the back when you're doing embroidery, especially for a 1 needle, a stand like this would be really good to have because you can load up I think it was 12, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 10 different colors, and then you run them through, and they just the threads will hang down, and I'll show you how to use it. But as you change your thread, you can just pull it down, cut it, pull the next one down, cut it for every color change. And I will, yes, show you how to use the 1 needle machines because they're more affordable than that big guy, but I'm glad I got it. So what you're seeing here on the wall, the gray piece and this white piece here the gray goes to the brother, which is on the end with the cover on it. The white goes to, no, I'm sorry. The brother is the white one. So the brother is the white one, the brother PE. This one goes to that, and it's about I think a 5x7 area. And then this one goes to the singer, and it's I want to say 7x10 area. Yeah, so that had a little bit more sewing space to it, which I like. So we have this 5 thread, and this is a 5. We have a Singer 5 thread that was gifted to me by my lovely business partner. And then I have my Singer. It's a Singer 1 Plus. When they first came out with the new Singers that look like the old Singer, so I had to have it. But they didn't have this one in black, so I got it in white because I wanted to match my aunt's machine, but that's okay. But this one is also computerized, where the other one was not as computerized as this one. And it has, I think, 200 something stitches. So it has some nice stitches. It sews well. And it has some really nice tools that come with it in a very big well. It's not going to come out because it's on the shelf. So let me stop before I break it. This one is a heavy duty Singer, Genome. So my business partner also gave me that one because she had two. So I have that heavy duty one. And the one from my aunt is also like heavy duty because it's all steel. Up top here, I have the laundromat version of a presser. And yes, it works. It's old, but it works. It has a stand. And then I have some of my overflow material, which shame on me, but we'll get to it. And then I bought out as much of the interfacing as I could at Joann's Reston Fabric. So up here I have my batting for my quilts. I have some calligraphy sets there. I have some jewelry making sets. I have some stock here. These are some jackets I'm going to be embroidering on the back. So we'll use that. These are my unfinished projects. Shame on me. We'll get to it. So, yep, that's my storage area. And then down bottom, I have 8. So there's 2, 4, 6, 8. And they're all full of fabric, as you can see. So I still have to get some of this rearranged and moved around. But for right now, it services what it's supposed to be, which is a closet. Now here, I have my Cricut Joy and Cricut Joy Extra. And this is what I got from Container Store. I absolutely love these. You can get it where it's this size and it opens from the front. This one, it opens on the side here. And it has different depths of drawers that you can select from. If you buy the kit, then it comes with standard, the small drawer, and 3 medium drawers. So I just have stock in those. And like some of my overflow vinyl is in there. Now, let me tell you about this cart. This cart I got from IKEA, about $30. I had the other cart that everyone has that's rounded off. And I have to find the creator. If I do, I'll link her in my information. But she was saying how she found this and it worked better for her than the other cart because when she's getting out her ironing tools, all my ironing tools are here. My Cricut, and my small Cricut, and the other heat Cricut, and the mats. So she said when she goes to pull those things out, that they got stuck sometimes, and that's a problem I was having. This one is much nicer. It's flatter, it's wider, it's got lower sides, and you get a little bit more space front and back and on the side. So it just makes it easier when I'm trying to reach in there and grab out my stuff. So just something to consider. We got this chair at one of the sewing expos. We'll be going to the sewing expo. Yes, I'll be doing some videos from there. I do believe, oh, hey, here we go. It has storage built in. Whoops. It has storage built in. They had a really good deal on it. It moves around pretty good, but I think I need like a mat or something on the floor so that it rolls better. But yeah. So I have 5 Cricuts total. Stop judging me. So we have, let's see, the Cricut Explorer Air 2. So this is the older one. It's the first one I got. And then I got the Maker. Did I? Sealed it up. I got the Maker when it came out. So here's the Cricut Maker. And they have those in different colors at the time, but I think that's the first one that came out. And I don't think my light, I can't turn my light on. And then here is the Maker 3. And then up here are some of the products or vinyl scraps and some miscellaneous. I have decorative stamps and the Cricut pins. I got a bunch of them, belt buckle stuff, just all kind of whatnots up there. And I put all the shelves up myself. I built this though. I had put in some countertops. I do home improvement. So I was working on my kitchen and I had extra the butcher block. So this piece was perfect to hold it and it's very sturdy. And I bought the legs and I screwed them on there. I drilled a hole and kind of screwed them up in there and it's very, very solid. So I was very thankful to have that to work off of instead of having to buy a stand. And it's a little bit higher. So I want it to be a little bit higher to do what I need. So when I need to, I can just pull this out and pull it forward and I can get to work with it. So and turn them all on at the same time. So over here, I have all of my mats hanging. And I just found this hanger here. It's clear, it's really nice, and it's very strong. And I like the extra lip on it because my other ones were kind of falling off of what I had before. So I found some, I have quite a few of these cutting mats and all different strengths. And you just keep a lot of them because you go through them kind of fast. And then once again, here we go with IKEA. Well, I'll go down and show you what's in the drawers too. But I have my overflow here, some more overflow, some pins here, my my tools for weeding and then for applying, and all this, you can get all this at IKEA. Love it. And they have different colors sometimes. So I still have more of my weeding tools. I just got this and I like it because it has a nice suction to the base. So it doesn't move around. You can, and you just pick off everything. I should have bought this a long time ago. Yeah, just bought it. I love the shelves that they have. I have for the Cricut Joy and Joy Extra. I have extra cutting mats for those as well. I have the longer ones and the shorter ones. I have the sleeve measuring for your t-shirts and that, and how to apply your heat transfer vinyls, extra cutters. And this one has slits in it. So if you need to do like a strip for so long, fabric or what have you, you can just put your cutting tool, like the rotary tool, will be good for that, and just go right through there. I have, forget the name of this tape, but yeah, this tape is decorative. This is heat resistant, but this will go for cards. So you can put this like at the bottom or top of the card, you know, to make it look really nice when you're making your cards. And this card maker is a wonder. I love this thing for making cards. And I have one that has all 4, and that's for the bigger machine. And then here I have my light up pad. I have a Cricut pad. I like this one because it has 4 settings. It's wireless, so I can charge it up. And then you can use this mat here, and it also comes off, but this is made for that, and it does not move. So once you get this down on here, it doesn't move. I also have some metal for it, and this is the Cutter Pillar Glow. And they have, if you go on Amazon, they have a lot of different products that they make. That's really nice. And they have a bag for carrying it around or storing it in. And I got this at the Sewing Expo that's coming up, I think, the end of next month. So yeah, Sewing Expo, I bought several machines. Yeah, I just keep buying machines. That's what I do. So here is my excess drawer for Cricut, and usually the removable vinyl I'll put here. So I have them tagged. So removable, my accessories, and then this has to go. I have to work on that. But this is my permanent vinyl. So yeah, I'm going to get this taken care of and moved out of the way. I have my iron-on vinyl, have that label, and then my patterns. So I'll probably be rotating my patterns more further over because it just makes more sense. And I can use this drawer, these drawers for the extra vinyls. So they're right here. So I don't have my patterns really organized right now, but I'm going to organize them. And that's one of the things I was trying to figure out how I'm going to organize them. I thought about organizing them per company, you know, Butterwick, Berta, Vogue, but I don't think that's going to work. So what I'm going to do is organize them by type. So jackets, skirts, pants, shirts. So all these here are patterns, and I have some patterns behind me. Here's some more patterns here. And when Joann's was going out, Rest in Fabric Joann's, when Joann's was going out, I went in and bought everything that I thought I would need. So a lot of the stuff, you know, I haven't touched it yet, but I have plans for it. This in particular will work well with a cording foot, and well, not this one, but these will a cording foot, or with this other machine that I have for like a chenille kind of effect. So for the applaud, the different stitches that it does, this will work really well, and I'll show you a sample of that. So I overbought because, you know, what else was I going to do, because there was no other game in town. So yes, I'm crying in my suit. This is a foil attachment. So the Cricut has a foil attachment that it presses down. It uses pressure to release the metallic finish from the paper that it's on. This one uses heat, and they have three different sizes: fine, medium, and thick. And they have an adapter for your Cricut machines, so that'll help it like stay down in there when you snap it shut. I'll be demonstrating this. I like it. I'm going to try some things on leather. I'll have to find a leather piece. I think I have it around. And I'll have to show you what it does. But it's a really nice effect. All right. So let's see. So we took care of this one. My lovely trash can. So now, here we come to the sewing section. We'll start at my daughter's end. It's less complicated. So up here, I have my lovely sewing machine clock. Some of my daughter's doll collection, and some of her knitting and whatnots that she has. Here's my Cricut box, my light box from Cricut. That's right now the best place I have for it, but it's right across from me, so I know where to find it. I have my sewing books. So let me get a little closer so you guys can see. I have my sewing books, and I have my instruction user guides for my machines. I have my serger book if I needed it. This was from the Vogue Fabrics in Illinois. It was just outside of Chicago. Love that store. This is for the rhinestone placements. You put this in this tray, you won't get rhinestones everywhere. And I'll be showing you how to use that. I have my sewing magazines in that, and my other sewing books here. Gotta have my tissue. It's Michigan. So let me just continue on at the top before we come back to the machines. That's a long conversation. So here I have the flour sack cloth, and I make these embroideries with recipes on them, and you can decorate the edges. So you have decorative edge, and here's one. So lemon lime salad. So it has the instructions stitched out. It's really cool. I want to try stitching it out on my 12 needle. This was done on my 1 needle. So you get that carryover from one to the other. So here is the fabric, and I do have a little bit of room in here. I need to get busy. Then I have more fabric, and just wait for it, you know, because There's more I told you. I warned you. There's more fabric. Just wait for it. Hold on. Wait, we're almost done. More fabric. So these are my kitchen cabinets. I remodeled my kitchen. So I put these up, and I like how they turned out. I'm not crazy about the color. I'm probably going to paint them. The boards were meant to be used for notions, ideas, let's write our ideas down. And my people have come in and have told me they love me. So I cannot let it go. Mookie Studio is the name of my daughter's business, and I will link her website into my content as well. So Vinny is my daughter's nickname. So Vita is mine. So yes. So I can't wipe that off. So it has to stay up there forever now. But if I do have to wipe it off, then I'm going to make all of them come back and show me some more love again. So here we have ribbons, different types of ribbons, and this will be used in the Baby Lock Applaud. And I'll show you how that's going to be used, but it gives a beautiful effect with least amount of effort, and I'll give a breakdown on that. This is my daughter's Singer Pro Finish Serger. It's a 4-thread. It's new. She's had it, but she hasn't used it that much. And then I have a Brother. What is this? A Brother CE 1150. I have not used this one yet. She hasn't. It's brand new. I gave my niece the one that she had before because my niece wanted to learn how to sew. And I saw this one. I said, well, it's got more stitches and more things for her to do. So she got an upgrade because of my niecey poo. So this is my blind hemmer machine. All this does is just does one thing. Yes, I pay money to do one thing. Got it from Amazon. It was $100. This one was about 123, and I think this one was maybe 150. I have to look it up, and I'll provide the links. This one was about 180, 150, 180 from Amazon. Came in a couple of days, and it just does a blind hem. And here is, so blind hem looks like that. So I'm sorry about the shadow, you guys. So the blind hem, if this was the same color, you wouldn't even see this pinprick. So it gives you a nice finished look without seeing that seam run across your pant. This is what it looks like on the back. So it gives a really, really nice detailed finish to fine tailoring and to your draperies and that. That's what they use for curtains. And you just fold it over one time and you just zing it through there. So there, I'll show you how to do a blind hem on a serger. I do one on, this is the applaud. This is the cover lock. So sergers are called overlocks that cut and serge, and you can do, this does a 2, 3, and 4 thread stitch. And this one is a cover stitch because it gives you this nice finish. It doesn't show it on my sleeve, but it gives you this nice finish. So with this finish here, it has a chaining where you can do either one, you can see it better on this one wiper or 2 wipers. So let me get closer so you can see that. Let me turn this on. Let me turn the light on. Throwing shadows upon myself. There we go. So here, this is 2. This is 1 wiper. That's the other side of the wiper. So one kind of goes to the left. This one kind of goes to the right. And then that's both. And it gives you a really nice finish when you're trying to, like, here's the edge I'm looking for. It gives you that double needle stitch. And if you flip it over, here's the chaining look. I did it in 2 places, but I'll be demonstrating this machine. So this one, if you look really close, here are the wipers. Let it refocus. So here are the wipers. Come on now, focus. There we go. So here are the wipers. and they come out and they cross each other. They come all the way out and they'll crisscross, and it'll give you this zigzaggy effect. So one wiper is like this one or the other one, and it'll like go like this. So I'll explain that later. But this was the one I'm telling you with the 6 threads. So it will need 6 cones, 2, 4, and then 6. It does not do a wave. It does have the air so that you can push the air button to thread it. The air threader is everything. So, and this is the Baby Lock Applaud. This is the Baby Lock Allegro. And it's a quilting machine, and it's got 12 inches here for rolling up. When you roll up the quilt to do your stippling, and if you were to have a coat or some, like a lot of material bunched up in there, you have a lot more room. I love this machine. I think it comes with 280 stitches, 200 stitches. So it's got 200 stitches. It's just sewing. So, and it has nice lighting on there too. It's got the light here and here, so you can see that. Love this machine. And it's solid. It sews so well. It's got the different pressure guides here for how much pressure you do and don't need. It has its auto threader up and down. It's got the auto cutter. You have your speed guide here. You can unplug the foot and hit the play button, and it'll just go on its own and do the bobbins and all that kind of stuff. Really nice machine. Now here is the Baby Lock Celebrate. This also is air driven. Now the other one is like electronic air. I didn't pay that much, so I got to push it myself. It's kind of So the other one, you touch it and you'll hear the motor go as it's pushing and blowing the air through the pipes. So we'll get into how to thread that on another video. So hopefully you'll enjoy that and come back and see my other videos. So I love this machine. I had my first serger. It was an Aero Pro, and it held up well. And when that one broke down, it just quit on me one day, and that one was like $400. I got a Baby Lock. I don't remember the name of it, but that machine I had for years, and it held up so well. It was so solid, and it wasn't one of the machines that I got from like an expo show. It was just a machine that I got from a site, and it was just really solid. So it was nice to get this one because it's just as solid, and it has the air in it now. So because of that, these threads here, well, I have two, because these are the floss, the cross stitch floss, so they're pretty thick. They're not just like regular thread. Let me see if I can do. So you can see how thick this is compared to just regular thread. So this one is really nice. That's what I used in the other machine under the wipers. So these I have specifically for the Baby Lock Applaud. And then I have the decorative where it's just one color. I got these years ago. They brought them out for some Christmas or something like that, and they never brought them back. So I'll use those, but then that'll be good like with a cording foot, because you can take a needle and do a wiper and do this real decorative stitch very similar to this. So that machine over there can do this. I didn't do this. I bought the material like that, and yes, it was expensive, but you can add some decorative touches like this too if you like to add a special touch. And some people, they like to make their own fabric, so they'll get some fabric and they can put different like yarn. That's all that yarn that I was telling you about. That's what this can be used for. You can put that in there and just go for it. So here's my other IKEA wall, and I have my bobbin holders, my pins, my sewing needles. I have lots and lots of sewing needles, bobbins, my straighter pins for like my heavier fabrics, my bias tape makers, some bling to use, safety pins, buttons, I don't have a lot of buttons, I think I might have some stashed somewhere, but I don't have as many buttons as I thought I would. So I have some button maker kits and my double needle sets here. I try to coordinate my buttons, but I got to work on the buttons. And then here is for a project that I'm going to get into, but they were just too darn cute to leave in the store. So I'm going to take this and use it in something. But they are buttons. So you can use them as buttons. You can put them on stuff. But I got a special project I want to use these on. So, and I just have this whole bin is filled with that. Then I have just certain things I just kind of put up here for a while. This one here is really nice to have. If you can find this, it's it's for your needles. So it's got all your needle types. You can put what the number size of your needle is. Denim, Microtex, Universal, Stretch, so when you take your needles out and you need to switch out needles, just put it here and mark, the size of it. You can probably put the note over here and you can just wipe it off and keep going. But this has been very, very helpful. Where did I get it? Joann's, Rest in Fabric. We're just gonna, yes, I'm bitter. We're gonna get over it though. We're gonna find us some new joints. So we have this holder. Usually I have my patterns hold up over here as I work on them, or I have like the instructions. So I have the pattern pack and the instructions like here. And I have the holders here, and some of the stuff is going to move around. I just I bought what I could during COVID. So if I'd rather have it and not need it, and then as I fix up some friends of mine, their sewing spaces, then I can give them what I don't really need. And here's my knickknack holder, some chalk here. You can use regular chalk for your tailor's chalk, but just make sure the pigment's not too dark or too rich, because you want it to wipe off, like a gentle wipe, and it should just come right off. I have these to hold my bobbin threads on there so you don't get those tails. I just have some knickknacks in here. I was hurrying up to put some things together. Here are my regular threads. I have stretchy threads down here. And then over here in my hoarding from Joann's, I made sure I had 2 of the specialties as best I could. And then some I found. So let me go back over here. So these guys right here are the floss that you're used to seeing for cross stitch. So I have some wooden bobbins and I just wound them up. So I have to wind those up, but I didn't have a place for them. So we'll figure that one out. But here you can see where I wound them up there. And I have my overflow here because I ran out of room to put the extra threads. But these are again the flosses by the spool, and these were like I think a 10 11 cents by the time it was all said and done, and it came to like I think 60 cents before they were clearing them out. And I didn't know they had the floss on the thread on the spool, because that's even better. So that way I can put it on any machine and use it as a decorative effect. So this is my daughter's section here, and she has a few things in here. The more she gets to sewing, then the more she's going to utilize her space. So she has her Barbie doll patterns that she's going to be making Barbie doll outfits on. She made one, and we can't see it. So I have her set up for some of her things here as she needs them. And here again, we go back to the ribbon that will go for my other machine. I'll slide that ribbon in underneath these stitches. So it would just like you pull it through. Any other case, you pull it through with a needle threader or something like that. It just makes it look like you're doing double work. This way, there's a foot attachment, and you can put the ribbon in, and as you sew, it sews the ribbon into this here. So you can have 3 needles or two, but the ribbon will be under there to give it a nice finish. So you can put that like on your collar, on your sleeve, you know, nice little finishing touch. So let's go through these drawers here. So these just have some of her doll knickknacks for making her doll patterns. And here I just needed extra space, but this is the booklet to her machine and a seam ripper. If you guys don't have this seam ripper, please get you one. Be gentle with it. Watch out because it's very sharp. And so you could cut into the material. So, but this is one of the best seam rippers out there. And then we have some more. This goes more so for some of our other project making, like more of the crafting stuff. And she has some blanks for her keychains. So free keychains for people that purchase from her business. And then some more of her doll material. And then for her knitting and crocheting. And I got these chairs from Home Goods. Yes, got them from Home Goods. And they also have them on Amazon. I haven't seen them at Home Goods since the time I bought them. This I got from a friend of mine. It was his mother's, and he said, I have this old cabinet. Do you want it? It's perfect because I could lay my board across and make us one long table. So yes, I built this one too. So I have my rest of my patterns here. And these are all of my patterns. I promise. I don't have any hiding anywhere. So I have my patterns here. And again, my daughter has like her section is off to the side with her things and like any adult patterns versus like we have a dog. So for the dog or her dolls, that'll be off to the side. The last row on the right side. The rest of the patterns will be like adult patterns. So her patterns also mixed in there for her size. Now here are the feet for the applaud. So I'll show you those later. It's a lot of feet in there. And then these are feet that I've collected from my machines over the years. So they're multi-purpose feet, and we'll go through all of that. Here, this is called a third hand. This is also an excellent buy. It's very simple. You just take it and you screw this up, hold it in place. It doesn't move. But when you need to hold and rip a seam, you just grab that, and you pinch it, hold that material, and that way it frees you up to hold one side up and then take the other hand and then rip that stitch away from the material. So you have one side. Sometimes you need it to be taut. So you hold one piece of the material on one side, the other one in this hand, and then this hand can go through, or unless you're left-handed, switch, and you go through and rip that seam. So if you ever find that, it's called third hand. I got that at Joann's. So here I have just different notions. I tried to put the things that I use the most right next to me. But like here's some extra feet that are used for different things. So some knickknacks and that are here. Some of these pouches from my other machines and some feet that I need to, like, I want to label my feet and categorize them. I have some Stitch Witchery here, double-sided tape in that, light bulbs. I'm ashamed of my zipper drawer, so we're going to hurry up and close that. I'm going to reorganize, and you'll go on that journey with me. You'll feel my pain. Here is for doing the world's greatest rolled hem with the least amount of headache. So I'll show you how to use that. And then I have like elastic. This is my elastic drawer. So I just have elastic everywhere. Yeah, let's not disturb it. I can still close it. Here are like my fringes, edgings, all that. Special beading treatments, some bias tape. This goes in a different drawer. This is my bias tape drawer too. So I got my bias tape, all that. And here is a little bit more overflow of some trimming and some tools too that I have in here. So some netting. Oh, my tube turners. I don't know if you guys have ever seen these. I will show you how these things work. If you can get your hands on some, do it. It's great. But yeah, we'll have a intro to that as well. Now I've gone and made a mess. One moment. Hurry up, close that up. All right. Yeah, so this is a jacket that I made, and I need to put pockets on and do some finishing touches on it. So there we go. So we need to do finishing touches on it. And I'm just trying to figure out the last thing I'm going to do to it. So I need to put pockets on it. I might do a dart here and then on the back. Let's spin her around, shall we? So it comes, you're supposed to make a belt for it. I wanted to make like maybe a different belt to go around it. But this is me, the old me. Yeah, when I was a thinner, smaller me. So now it's my daughter. I want to get a better mirror. So I want maybe some bling. Why not? A little bling. So I want to put a blinged out mirror, but I need a bigger mirror so you can see yourself. So I have plenty of space to put that here, and that'll work out great. And I think that'll be about the last thing I do. So once around the mulberry bush, and I have to show you the rest of the surprise for this machine and the hoops behind it. So stand by. Okay, I have pulled out the embroidery station. So here, this pack was 140 colors, I do believe. And I had the picture and where I got it. I got it from Amazon. I think it was 100, 140, 160 colors. So, and they were the 4,000 meter threads. So I tried to put them in gradient order to a point. I'll work on that more. I just wanted to get it all together and get it in here. So that was a nice overflow. So now this table here is, if you have a jacket that you're trying to stitch on and it's heavy, you'll want it to be flatter. So this table attaches to the machine for the bigger frames, so it'll hold it and be nice and stable without the stress putting stress on your machine. So those stickers I was telling you about, see, I started to mark it here on these different frames, but it'll be cuter with a sticker, right? So that's what we're going to do. But these are all magnets, magnetized frames. So some of the 8-in-1s had, let's see if I don't think I can get it off right now. But some of the 8-in-1s did not come with a top like this to hold it in place. It just came with just a frame underneath. Let me show you that. So it just came like with this, just the metal part here. So the difference between, that's what Mighty Hoops, and I know Racoma had some, is that it didn't have the top on top, the magnet on top. So I like Maggie's because theirs has the magnet on top, holds it in place very well. And I also do a tutorial where I did use that on a little bag. It kind of shifts a little bit, but I still liked how it turned out. So here's the rest of that thread order. And then here I have the UV color change, but these are old. I'm not sure how well they'll change out in the sun. And then we have our invisible threads. So that's good for like if you're doing some bead work or something like that, or if you have something underneath that you want to shine through. And then we have the rest of the thread here, and then I have different size Maggie frames here, and I'll be doing a video on those. And here is part of the hooping station, and then here is the frame for the 8-in-1 hoops, and it just slides on like one of these frames would. So yep, and then this one, yeah, I'll show you how that works. So I bought Overflow thread rack because of the new thread that I have coming. And then this I use for the single needle machines more than the bigger cones. So we have that all together. And then I have my embroidery shears. I need some more. I do this little one right here is your friend. That will be your best friend. You want to make sure also you have some pincers. I have some bent and straight because I have long nails, usually a lot longer than this. Um, I need something that can get in there and thread the needle, but it does really well at threading the needle. And again, more fabric. All right. Well, thank you so much for having a tour of my wonderful workspace, and I'm just blessed to have it. And this is, like I said, my third sewing room. I don't know if this is my last. I don't plan on moving anytime soon, but I'm very thankful to have this space to be this creative and have everything that I need in one spot, and that my daughter shares it with me, and we do a lot of creating in here. So welcome to my channel again. I hope you guys come back and see what else we have in store for you. Take care. God bless.